Well, this particular race is what we like to call the main event, because effectively, let's have a look at our grids, because there's going to be, you've got no grids. Well, we're going to, yeah, we have had a little bit of an issue with alpha timing. I have tried to check for, right, alpha timing is down at the moment, so it's been 4 different winners from 4. The top 10 from the B final went through and managed to get their positions secured. But at the moment, Harris Roberts is the championship leader coming into this second round. We had a great battle that myself and David Sullivan commentated on at Fullbeck, where we were on Fabricius's home soil in Lincolnshire, his home track, and Harris Roberts did a number. However, Roberts was commanding at Wilton. I'm wondering what's going to happen this time around, because I've got a little bit of a feeling in my gut as they wave the green flag to start letting the Honda Cadets. 30 out of 38 drivers have made it to this stage. Right, here we go. It's the A final for Honda Cadet. So you're going to have the likes of Harris Robert and Larry Price up front, James Fabricius and Max Williams, Alex Lynn, Tom Drake, Harris Ali, Jack Collinson, Isabella Stansmore Wilson, Ethan Charles, Freddie Lyons, Amy Peacock, Jensen White, Bobby Peete and Stanley Clark will be in the top 15. You'll also have the likes of Thomas Potter, Lewis Hall, Max Graytrex, Cameron Tipping, Freddie Hausergo, Harry Samuel, Ralphie Branscombe, Alex McCullough, Alfie Forrester, Rio Wardally, George Ralston, Ayrton Rai, Max Hausergo, Mason Webster and Joshua Owen. The last 10 drivers will have been the ones that qualified through the B final earlier on today before we got underway with the A finals. Oh, Ralphie Branscombe's had a little bit of a spin, and that is at Iredale's. So number 96 ended up second. Alex McCulloch apparently was third. Well, I'm just looking at. We have been trying to keep an eye on grids. They have worked up until the last one. Funny how, James, that ends up causing problems for the last 2 races of the weekend. But hey, it is what it is. So, drivers now lining up. Pole position is on the right-hand side, so it will be as follows. Larry Price, Harris Roberts. Then you've got Max Williams and James Fabricius, Alex Lynn and Tom Drake, Harris Ali and Jack Collinson, Isabella Stansmore Wilson and Ethan Charles. That's your top 10. Then it's Freddie Lyons, Amy Peacock, Jensen White, Bobby Peete, Stanley Clark, Thomas Potter, Lewis Hall, and a whole host of others as Ralphie Branscombe manages to get into position. Grid has been cleared. Tom Neal wishes James Fabricius, who's going to be on the outside of row number 2 in 4th place, directly behind Harris Roberts. 12 minutes plus an additional lap of racing. We'll have 1 more race to go after this, and it'll be Junior Pro Kart to conclude round 3 before we head to Lydd in Kent on the 5th of June for the halfway point of the season. I cannot believe I am saying those words. And returning back for that round in the commentary position will be David Sullivan. Last 2 races of today's action, both standing starts. Rhys Owen saying good luck to James Fabricius. Right then, grid is cleared. 12 minutes on the clock. Drivers will now be instructed to look at the lights. Revs rise. Lights are out. We are underway. Who's going to get the good run down to the chicane first? Harris Roberts does not get through on Larry Price, as Max Williams keeps ahead of Oliver Fabricius at the moment, as they are 2 by 2 a little bit further down the order. Getting down to McRae's for the first time of asking. It's going to be a little bit close to 3 abreast coming through McRae's for the very first time, as Larry Price going on the defensive very early against Harris Roberts. Oliver Fabricius nearly has Alex Lynn up the inside. Oh, Amy Peacock has more dramas. I think she's had more dramas today than she has all season long so far. Both doing double duty. Had a good result in the final in Micromax, so let's see how she gets on. Gets through on the number 58 of Jensen White through the Stuart S's, so nice recovery there from Amy. But it is a train at the front of the field. There is at least 8 carts being led by Larry Price, who leads the field. But will Harris Roberts look to the inside? He does. The 45 from Merthyr Tydfil looks to the inside through into the chicane, and with him goes James Fabricius. Harris Ali, in the meantime, up to 6th position from 8th and has just set the fastest lap of anybody, 1 minute 6.371. Expect those lap times to drop. Some of the drivers making their way through McRae's, but Roberts leads the way. Fabricius 2nd, Price in 3rd, 4th it's currently Max Williams, with Alex Lynn, Harris Ali in 6th place, Jack Collinson in 7th, ahead of Ethan Charles, Freddie Lines and Isabella Stansmore Wilson rounding out the top 10 overall. Tom Drake, Thomas Potter, Tommy Pete, Amy Peacock, and Jensen White rounds out the top 15 positions. Down the hill, and now Harris Roberts is starting to pull away. This is a possible sign of a repeat of what we saw at Wilton, but James Fabricius needs to start pedalling a little bit faster right now to catch the youngster who leads the way in the championship standings. Harris Roberts, 1 minute 2.619. Last 3 digits, like Rey Mysterio's special move in WWE. Is the fastest one out there is Harris Roberts. James Fabricius, 4/10 adrift. Larry Price, a further half a second adrift. So the top 3 separated by just nigh on a second. As there's the 83. Trying to go up the inside. That was on Thomas Potter. That was Freddie Lines trying to go through. And then there's Isabella Stansmore Wilson. Bella now tries to get through on the inside on the 83. And, well, Freddie Lines just knew exactly where to park the cart and put it through and decided, right, I'm going to thread the eye of the needle through the second part of the Stuart S's and gets through on Isabella Stansmore Wilson. But behind, there's a little bit of a change. Right, number 6, Alex Lynn has lost out to Harris Ali. Now has also lost out to Jack Collinson as they come through paddock. Roberts, again, another fastest lap. He's doubled the gap in the meantime in the last 2 laps alone since he took the lead. 1 minute 1.932 for Harris Roberts. James Fabricius, 1 minute 2.465. Nearly 9.5 tenths adrift as up the inside of Alex Lynn goes Thomas Potter for a briefest of moments, and he's got right on his back bumper Ethan Charles. Ethan Charles, one of the 4 heat winners here today. Isabella Stansmore Wilson looking up the inside of Freddie Lines going into the Stuart S's, and the 88 from Middlesbrough has managed to make the move stick, but Harris Roberts comfortably away and clear. James Fabricius has got no answer at the moment. Must be hoping for a miracle right now, but this will still keep him in a very, very good place in the championship standings, because it's mainly those 2 that are battling away. Isabella Stansmore Wilson trying to go side by side with Freddie Lines up the hill through the chicane. She's back down to 11th as Bella, as Freddie Lines tries to send it up the inside of Ethan Charles, going through into McRae's. And there's a bit of a change around. The over-under happens between Ethan Charles and Freddie Lines. Ethan Charles 2 wheels on the grass. Bella Stansmore Wilson is right up the back bumper of the 49. heading into the stewardesses, and she's got past Charles, she's got past lines. Well done, Isabella Stansmore-Wilson. 2 positions gained in a very, very rapid succession of time. 7 minutes and 20 still to go, plus an additional lap on the counter. Thomas Potter now up into 7th position ahead of Alex Lynn. Hayden Taylor saying, keep going, Harris. I don't think he can hear you, but I'm sure that he might be able to feel his ears burning a little bit now. So 6 minutes and 36 seconds still to go on the timer. Isabella Stansmore-Wilson now up into 9th place. Now is charging forward. He's got Alex Lynn right in front in the number 6. And there is the number 22. That's Harry Samuel, our Honda Cadet B final winner. He's currently up into 16th position, having made his way out from the bottom part of the, well, out from the lower, just underneath the top 20. As there's a change of position, Thomas Potter on Jack Collinson through the stewardesses. We are now halfway through this Honda Cadet A final. And oh, do I spy with my little eye a little bit of sunlight breaking through the clouds? About time. Needed it a little bit earlier. Oh, a little bit of a run wide from Freddie Lines, bounces over the curbs, and there's Ethan Charles trying to capitalise. There's Isabella Stansmore-Wilson trying to go up the inside of Alex Lynn through the final corner. She won't get through before the chicane. And now that's brought in Lines. And Bobby Pete has brought himself into this. Harris Roberts is away and clear by 3 seconds ahead of James Fabricius. But then you look at everyone behind as Isabella Stansmore-Wilson still trying to close in on Alex Lynn. There's James Fabricius leading the trio of karts, including himself, and that is Tom Drake around from 13th. That is on the exit of Iredales. So that will drop him, unfortunately, towards the back end of the field, but Fabricius is pulling away ever so slightly from Larry Price and Max Williams. Harris Ali doing a sterling job, but is coming under fire. Could have Thomas Potter closing in very shortly, and that's the case because the number 20 is closing in on the 76 coming out of the final corner. Four minutes and 35 still to go. Improvements from Alex Lynn, Isabella Stansmore-Wilson, Freddie Lines, Bobby Pete in terms of lap time. Harris Roberts is 3.8 seconds up the road. He should be in another county at the moment. He might be halfway home at this rate. Back home to Merthyr Tydfil. But he's 3.8 seconds ahead. And there's the move that I was waiting to see. Thomas Potter on Harris Ali. And that is for 5th on the road. Thomas Potter is saying to Harris Ali, right, should we go and try and chase those 3 in front? We want to get on the podium, us two. Let's go for it. Well, Thomas Potter is now effectively on the podium because we have a top 5 podium for Honda Cadet. So 4 minutes still to go, plus an additional lap. Harris Roberts will cross the line very shortly, and he's through into the chicane. Fabricius, 4 seconds adrift, and has just set a personal best, 1 minute 1.365. Isabella Stansmore-Wilson still trying her level best to get past Alex Lynn, but she's got Freddie Lines, Bobby Pete, Ethan Charles and Amy Peacock closing in. Isabella Stansmore-Wilson is trying to go for the move through into McRae's, and in the meantime going into the stewardesses. A little bit of a moment for James Fabricius, nearly allowing Larry Price to get on through. So Isabella Stansmore-Wilson is probably going to be on level peggings with Alex Lynn as things stand as we head into the final 3 minutes, final quarter of the race plus an additional lap. And now Thomas Potter has been on an absolute tear, has caught up to Max Williams for 4th position as they go down through St John's into the left now at Sunny Bend. Harris Roberts comes out of the final corner to complete lap number 9 and we go into double digits. And he sets another fastest lap of the race, 1 minute, 0.622. Fabricius, 2nd. Price, 3rd. Potter's just put in the fastest lap. First driver to go sub-60, 59.893. Isabella Stansmore-Wilson has got past Alex Lynn for 8th position. Now Potter goes for the move on Williams through into McRae's on the 24 he goes, and Potter's through. Potter now through into 4th place, and now we'll start chasing with 2.25 minutes still to go. Larry Price and James Fabricius. As now Potter looking up the inside of Larry Price for third place. That was into the beginning part of the Stuart S's. You're going to go down the hill again into St John's, into the left at Sunny Bend. As now, just keeping an eye on Isabella Sandsmore-Wilson. She's away and clear by a considerable margin because there's an almighty fight behind Bobby Pete trying to get onto... Well, no, hang on. Ahead of Bobby Pete. Did I just see, was that Amy Peacock that's gotten past? She has. So Amy Peacock, again, along with Isabella Stansmore-Wilson, they're really showing good credence. Is now up the inside of Larry Price. Through McRae's, that is Thomas Potter. Third position could be on the cards if he nails the braking going into Iredale's. He does, but Price looking on the inside. Potter keeps the foot planted to the floor and gets ahead. And now he's just going, yeah, I'm going forward. That's probably what he's saying to everyone, saying, yeah, come on, follow me. Well, he's got one more driver to try and chase down, and that is James Fabricius. That Harris Roberts has been running in the low 60-second bracket. That pace that he has done is completely unrelenting. Gap between him and James Fabricius now was 5.1 seconds. The 91 comes out of the final corner. The youngster from Barnsley in South Yorkshire. 4.5 seconds. Fabricius took 6/10 out of Harris Roberts, but Roberts knows that he's got some daylight at the end of the tunnel. Here comes Potter up the inside, through into McRae's on Fabricius for second position. Fabricius slots in behind the number 20. And Potter getting a little bit, nearly got a little bit sideways coming out of Iredale's. Now, one of the things that I'm noticing on the inside part of the track, that track is starting to dry up. As we now hit 0 on the clock, there is a definitive dry racing line here at Rowrah. Harris Roberts this time will get the last lap board. And he's making his way through out of Sunny Bend. He's now going to head towards Paddock. Last lap board is out. Harris Roberts on his way. And the gap between him and Thomas Potter. Thomas Potter has just taken 1.6 seconds out of Harris Roberts. Where on earth has that lap time come from? Isabella Stansmore-Wilson in 8th place has got the fastest lap of anybody. She's put in a 58.885. But Roberts, the hoonigan, if you can't miss that livery, all I'm going to say is it's a very, very interesting sheep diagram on the back of his race helmet. I'm not going to tell you what's involved in that, but I have seen it up close and personal. It is rather entertaining, but this is a PC show, ladies and gentlemen. However, Roberts is making his way down the hill into St John's for the 13th and final time. We're on the final lap of the race, and Harris Roberts continues his run of form into Paddock Bend. Thomas Potter might have tried to close on in, but the youngster from Wales does it again here in 2022. Thomas Potter takes second. James Fabricius absolutely brimming with joy, taking third place ahead of Larry Price and Max Williams. Thomas Potter set the fastest lap of the race on the final lap. Harris Ali in 6th. Jack Collinson and Isabella Stansmore-Wilson rounded out the top 8. 6th to 8th were covered by 2/10. Wilson could have had 6th if she was lucky. Alex Lynn and Amy Peacock round out the top 10 positions in the field.